What's up everyone, and thank you for stopping by the channel. Today's project is this Toro lawnmower, and the problem is that it was a free mower found on the curb with a lot of problems. Let's take a good look at it, find out what's wrong with it, and hopefully we can fix it. Now in this video, we try and repair this mower. However, it may not be the exact repair that you need to make to yours. We'll explore other options later in the video. Now this Toro lawnmower wasn't cheap when it was new, and the reason is because it's loaded with a lot of great options. It has a lot of power, rear-wheel drive, it can bag or mulch the grass, and it even has electric start. Now it's not commercial grade by any means, but even the best stuff won't last, and this one has two huge problems. Now it was put on the curb for free, and it came with a note that said it needs a new blade and the self-propel doesn't work. Now this has the personal pace system, and the handle isn't returning like it's supposed to, so it might just need a cable adjustment to get it to work again. Now at some point I plan on tipping this mower on its side, so I want to check that there's no gas in the tank and that the oil dipstick is tight so we don't make a mess. I would also like to get this key start to work, so I'm definitely going to have to take a look at the battery and make sure that it still works. Now just to make sure though, I will try the key start. You never know, it might just work. Unfortunately, the key start didn't work, so I'll have to take a look at it after we fix our two problems. Now, the first thing I want to do is look at how bad the blade is. Since I'll be turning the blade by hand, I'll disconnect the spark plug wire for safety. I have to say, though, that this blade is quite bent, and it looks like it's bent near the shaft. I'll remove the blade to inspect it and also check the blade adapter. So the blade adapter looks fine. However, if we take a closer look, the blade wasn't the only thing that got damaged. The key in the adapter has broken off, which isn't good as the blade needs to spin with the shaft. With the key broken, the blade can spin freely of the shaft, and also since the blade was severely bent and off key, the engine would have vibrated very badly. Now this was probably what caused them to put the mower on the curb in the first place. This is a used adapter that I had in my parts bin, and it looks to be the right one. If you look inside, you can see the key is still there, so it's still usable. I'll compare it to the old one to make sure it's identical to it, then I'll install it on the crankshaft. After installing the adapter, I need to replace the blade because the engine needs a blade to run properly. However, I don't have the right blade for this adapter on hand to test with. I do, however, have a different blade, but I'll have to install it upside down so I can test and make sure the engine runs smoothly and isn't damaged. Now, since I don't know anything about this engine, I really don't want to spend a lot of money on parts, only to find out later on that the engine is bad. Now, once I know the engine runs fine, I'll order the correct blade for it. So it runs really well, which is great news, but I tried to use the self-propel and it didn't work, just like the note said, so now I have to try to figure out what's wrong with it. Now, since there's no tension on the self-propel cable, I'll try and adjust the cable's anchor to get rid of the slack, and then I'll try testing it again. Another reason why your self-propel may not be working is there's a problem with the transmission. Now, if that's the case, you can either live with it or replace the transmission. It still didn't work, so this time I'm going to look under the deck and examine the belt and the transmission. So the belt looks fine by the crank, however, it looks a little suspicious at the rear pulley over the transmission. I know it's hard to see, but if we take a closer look, it appears that the belt is off the pulley. I'll try and get it back onto the pulley, and then we'll try testing it again. So the wheels turned a whole revolution and then stopped again. I think we may have more problems than just a belt off its pulley. I want to take a closer look at the belt, so to do that I have to remove these two screws on top of the deck so I can remove the belt cover. So the belt is severely damaged, and when the damaged part gets over the rear pulley, it doesn't turn the transmission. That means we need to order a replacement belt, so I won't be able to fix it in this video. I did run into more problems though, as when I tried to remove the belt, it requires a guard over the pulley to come off. So I guess I'll leave it like this until the belt comes in, and then I'll do the work to get access to the transmission. Now, rear-wheel drive gives you more traction in the grass, but it's more of a pain when you have to service it. This is the end of this video, but in the next video I'll test the electric start feature and hopefully get the self-propel working again. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate your time here. Please feel free to ask any questions, and I hope to see you in my next video.